Good morning, everyone. So today what we're going to have a look at is calendars. So our goals for today are to ensure that your daily schedule is added to your Google Calendar. Some of you may have already done this. That we add your Veracross assignment schedule to your calendar. That we bookmark the Google Classroom calendar, and we talk about the difference between the Google Classroom calendar and your regular Google Calendar. That you turn on your Google Classroom notifications, and we'll talk at the end about adding everything that you do to your calendar. So the first thing we're going to do is actually go to Veracross and log into Veracross. Now, if you haven't logged into Veracross before, please go back and check your Gmail and look for the Veracross invite. So I've already got everything ready to go here, so I'm going to click on Login. And the first calendar we're going to add is our daily schedule. So I am going to click on Calendar Subscriptions. And then in here, you can see different calendars. The ones that we're interested in are these two, all classes and all assignments. So I'm going to start with all classes. So I'm going to do a right click, and remember that is holding down the control key while clicking the trackpad. And I'm just going to go to copy link address. Okay, I'm going to pop back over to my Google Calendar page, and I'm going to scroll down to other calendars. And where it says other calendars, I'm going to click on add, and we're going to say from URL. Okay, and now here we can paste in the URL that we just copied. Okay, and we're not going to make this publicly accessible. We're just going to click on add calendar. Okay, this might take a couple minutes to import all of the events, all your classes for the year. Okay, so it looks like that has finished. And now you can see when we come back to our main calendar page that all of our classes have been added. Now we can scroll down here, and it might have a weird name like WebCal or something like that. So if it does have a weird name, we click on these three dots and go to settings, and you can call this whatever you want. I'll just call it daily schedule. Okay. All right, and that's saved. So I come back here now, and you can see my daily schedule is here. So you can see that my classes have been added. So the next calendar we're going to add is we're going to come back to our calendar subscriptions, and we're going to right click again, control click on subscribe for all of our assignments. So copy link address, and we'll go through the same process again, other calendars, from URL, paste this in, add calendar. So I did a Command V there to paste, shortcut key, instead of doing Control click. Okay, so that looks like it's imported, and again we'll see, has it added a weird, it has not, it's just called all assignments. You can leave it at that if you want. And so what this will do now, so if your teacher has added any assignments in the Veracross calendar, if I click ahead, there we go, you can see, so there's an assignment due on October 25th, next Friday, and you can see that's already been populated here. So you don't have to go to Veracross each time you want to see your daily schedule or your upcoming assignments have been assigned. Okay, now we're going to switch gears a bit here, and we're going to go to Google Classroom. Okay, so, and I don't know if you've seen this before, but in the Google Classroom calendar, what you can see is the assignments that are upcoming. So before we talk about the Google Classroom calendar, let's just bookmark this. So I'm going to go to, I'm just going to do Command D, the shortcut key, and you can go to bookmarks, add bookmark if you want. And I'm going to call this Google Classroom calendar. Okay, I'm going to put it directly on my bookmarks bar. Okay, and I'm going to slide this over here. Okay, so it's just beside our normal calendar, our regular Google calendar. And maybe I'm going to change the name of this. Actually, I can't see the whole name, so I'm going to call it just Classroom calendar. There we go. So now we can see the whole thing. Okay, so on this calendar, you can see the assignments and the day that they're due. And so there's a difference between this and our regular Google Classroom calendar. So if I come back to my Google Calendar over here, And then I'm going to, let's go just check this again. So this was on the 16th. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the 16th. Okay, and you can see this assignment, Media Through the Lens, is due at 7 p.m., right? So if I go look at the 18th, the difference here is this one actually shows up at 7 p.m., okay? Whereas on the calendar page, it just shows up on that day, okay, on the 18th. So you can actually see that if your teacher puts a time on the Google Calendar or on the Google assignment, here it'll just show up as a day event, and here it'll show up at the time. This can make it difficult to miss sometimes. So if you're scrolled up here and then you won't see that, right? Whereas in this calendar, you'll always see it, and you can see the time that it's due as well, right? So that's sort of the main difference between Google Classroom Calendar and your Google Calendar. Okay, so we bookmarked that. And so the next thing we're going to look at is the Google Classroom notifications. So I'm going to come to just my classroom here, and then down here, there's a link at the very bottom here called Settings. And in Settings, there should be notifications. Okay, so you can turn these on, okay? And then you can also look at your individual classroom notifications as well, and make sure those are turned on as well. So this will alert you of when things are upcoming. Okay, so finally, so you just set that once, and then you're good to go. And then finally, I'm going to come back to our Google Calendar, and a good habit to get into is to actually add everything to this calendar, right? So let's say you have a recurring piano lesson on Tuesdays. And so I'm going to add an event here. Okay, so you just double click or just single click where you want to add the event. I'm going to call this piano lesson. Okay, and it's on Tuesdays. Let's say it's from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and we're going to say that it repeats weekly on Tuesday. So the reason we would like you to add everything to this calendar is so that you see you have an assignment coming up, and you say, let's say you haven't added your piano lesson in here, and you're starting to plan for this on Sunday. Right? And you look at your calendar and you look, oh, look, I can do this on Tuesday evening. But then on Tuesday comes around and you say, oh, I forgot I have a piano lesson tonight, and now you have an extra hour of piano, and you need to do your assignment for the next morning. So it's get in the habit of trying to put everything that you know is going to happen into this calendar so that you can better plan for all of those upcoming due dates that you should now be able to see in your calendar. Okay, so that's it for this session, and we'll be adding another for the next.